Hello everybody. Today is Saturday, June 27th, I believe. I'm going to give you a little bit of update on how the pumpkin plants are doing in the greenhouse. So let's kick things off. We're going to start with my two tomato plants that I'm trying to grow in containers. This is a 15-gallon fabric container. That's a 10-gallon fabric container. Starting to get some blooms. I think these are probably what you would call mega blooms. Pretty big, right about the size of my thumb. But these are still fairly young plants, still growing, so they're gonna have lots more time to do what they do. I did clean up the last quarter of this greenhouse. So now the Colorado pumpkin cave is completely weed-free-ish, with exception of weeds that have popped up in the meantime. So the three plants that I am growing are the 1700 Baron, which is growing really well now. This one's kind of starting to pick up some steam. Let's go take a look at that. So the stump is back there, probably about 2 foot behind that post. So I would put this plant at roughly 10-ish feet. I do have a female somewhere. Right there. So I got a female pumpkin that I'm going to keep. That one I have culled all of them up to this point. I'm going to keep that one with the hopes that I'll get another one closer to where I'm standing, maybe at about 12 to 13 feet. But I'm keeping that one just in case. This plant in particular has been shooting off tons of females on the side vines. So worst come to worst, I most likely will have some on the side vines, but I'd much rather have them on the main. Terminated vines along the sides of the house. And yeah, this plant's growing really well. Leaves aren't as big as some of the other ones, but all around growth I'm very happy with. This is the 1947 and a half Clements, my youngest plant. But as you can see, as far as length is concerned, just about as long as the plant that's almost a month older than it. Not as full, leaves are much bigger, growing still pretty quickly. The growth the last few days has kind of slowed down. I need to kind of look into that. I'm thinking perhaps a little nitrogen, as I've kind of stopped giving these plants so much nitrogen. This plant gets a little less nitrogen, so I might have to augment it by hand if that is actually the problem. This plant is probably about 8 feet long, sideways probably about 10 feet long side to side. Nobody told me that these, as the leaves grow, I have a really hard time walking around. Trying to stay on my walking boards. It's like a maze. Okay, so now we're at the other end. This is the 1900 Baron plant. This plant is still my fastest growing, bestest looking plant. I think in the last video, the side vines, that was just, I want to say probably last Saturday actually. The side vines were just at that walking board. Now they are 4 foot past, and all these other ones are chugging right along. This plant is roughly 13 feet long, and man, I don't know, 10 to 15 feet wide. Those side vines over there are from this plant, so and yeah, maybe like 10 to 12 feet long, but it's looking really good. I do also have a fruit on this one that I'm going to keep. I haven't seen any more in the tip of the vine yet, so I think I'm going to be going with this one. I would really like to cross this 1900 Baron with the 1900 Clements. There's been no flowers opened up on the 1900 Clements yet, so hopefully when that female is ready in another week-ish, I would guess, hopefully some of these males in here will be close. So yeah, that is my update. Keep it just about 5 minutes long. Been burying vines every day with mycorrhiza and just some organic soil that I buy in a bag. Once a week I kind of spray everything down with 7 or Bear Advanced, just to keep any bugs that sneak in away. And I've been finding some of those little annoying white grubs from the Japanese scarab beetle, so trying to keep those as dead as possible so they don't eat my roots. But that's about it. As always, if you see anything that you think I'm doing wrong or suggestions, please let me know. Give you an update next week. Later.